If you play Damn from front to back, Kendrick Lamar dies. If you play it in reverse, he lives. This isn't just an album. It's a Rubik's Cube of blood, faith, and DNA. In a world where a wrong decision can erase your name, Kendrick Lamar built a labyrinth of loyalty, lust, fear, and fate. A 55-minute gospel where the sermon is survival. And if you listen close enough, you'll hear God's voice and the devil's laughter sharing the same beat. Kendrick Lamar has made albums that feel like movies, poems, protests, and therapy sessions. But Damn is something else. It's a choose-your-own adventure Bible for the broken. Released in 2017 at the peak of Kendrick Lamar's influence, Damn sounded like a collection of bangers, but buried inside the hits was a haunting riddle. What damns a man? What saves him? Depending on which way you listen, front to back to front, Damn answers those questions two very different ways. In one direction, Kendrick is falling. In the other, he's climbing. Damn is a spiritual structure so precise, so poetic, it might just be the greatest album ever made.
You make music that lends itself to conspiracy effectively in many respects.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely aware of that because prior to me going and recording the record, everything is probably 80% premeditated first. You know, I like to put a lot of different things and you know, word plays and messages in my music because I wanted to live further than 2 weeks, you know, further than an attention span of, you know, how we all was as kids, you know. We take it, we listen to it, and we move on. But I wanted to live for the next 20 years.
When Kendrick dropped Damn in 2017, most people pressed play and heard the man slowly unravel. From blood to Duckworth. He loses trust, loses faith, loses himself. But then fans discovered something. If you listen to the album in reverse, starting with Duckworth and ending with blood, a different story emerges. You see a man on a journey back to innocence, back to purpose, back to God. In a forward direction, Kendrick Lamar is doomed, but in reverse, he's redeemed. Kendrick confirmed this wasn't a coincidence. He designed it this way.
The initial vibe, listening from the top all the way to the bottom, is just to come in and this aggression and this attitude, you know, DNA and exposing who I really am. You know, when you listen from the back end, it's almost the duality and the contrast of the intricate Kendrick Lamar, you know. But both of these pieces are who I am.
Blood. It begins with a parable. Kendrick walks through a world that feels both earthly and spiritual. He meets a blind woman. She tells him he's lost something. When he tries to help her, she shoots him. You've lost something. You've lost your life. This isn't just a metaphor. This is the moment Kendrick is spiritually assassinated. He dies at the beginning of the album, and everything that follows is post-mortem. The track then shows us right-wing pundits mocking Kendrick's activism.
Did you catch that? Lamar stated his views on police brutality with that line in the song, quote, "And we hate the po-po, want to kill us in the street, faux show." KG.
Please. I don't like it.
Blood is Kendrick Lamar's warning shot. A reminder that in America, especially Black America, your good intentions don't save you. Sometimes they kill you. DNA. If blood is death, DNA is resurrection by rage. The beat hits like a car crash, and Kendrick tears into it like a man possessed. He's not rapping here. He's testing himself under a microscope. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. It's a declaration. Kendrick Lamar is saying, I am my ancestors. I am their trauma, their glory, their struggle, their brilliance. I am every strand of Black survivor coded into bone. And yet, the track also spirals into self-conflict. I just win again, then win again like Wimbledon I serve. This is my heritage. All I am inheriting, money and power, the maker of marriages. This song poses a question. What happens when your DNA contains both royalty and rage? Legacy and pain? Kendrick knows. He's been programmed by forces bigger than him. Race, history, violence. And now he has to live without programming, or break it. This is the first turning point. Kendrick isn't asking questions anymore. He's laying out his genetic scripture. Welcome to the book of Damn. Yeah, After all the chaos of DNA, Yav feels like Kendrick stepping outside himself. The beat is hypnotic, kind of dreamlike. He's floating in his own mind. He's no longer shouting. He's wondering, why God, do I gotta suffer? He's naming names now. Gerald, Fox News, and even his own family. He's showing us what's pulling on him. And then a whisper, my cousin called, my cousin Carl Duckworth. A subtle seed is planted. This cousin Carl will return. He will become the voice of God later in the album. But here, Kendrick just mentions him like a breadcrumb. He also says something else, something deeper. I'm not a politician. I'm not about a religion. But then he invokes Yahweh. Yah is Kendrick wrestling with identity, his bloodline, his belief system, his birth name, Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. He's trying to figure out if the man in the mirror is a prophet or just a product. Element. If I gotta slap a pussy ass, I'ma make it look sexy. Element is a battle cry. Kendrick has seen the world's judgment, heard the pundits, felt the weight, and now he's saying, I'll make the pain look like poetry. I'll turn violence into art. This isn't just about flexing. It's about reminding you, Kendrick is still from somewhere. Most of you throw rocks and try to hide your hand. He's not interested in politeness. He's interested in truth, no matter how brutal. This track is Compton war language dressed in high fashion. And underneath all that bravado, there's still that tension. Can Kendrick rise above the violence without denying where it's from? Or the survivor requires slipping back into the element?
I don't do it for the gram, I do it for Compton. I'm willing to die for the shit.
Element is Kendrick's way of saying, if I have to fight, I'll fight beautifully. And if I go down, I'll make it look cinematic. Feel. Feel is the sound of isolation. In this song, the masks drop. The noise dies down, and Kendrick realizes he's drowning in silence. Ain't nobody praying for me. He says it again and again. Ain't nobody praying for me. It becomes a mantra, a wound. He lists everything he feels and everything he doesn't. I feel like the whole world made to pray from, but who the fuck praying for me? This is burnout at a soul level. Kendrick's not just talking about fame fatigue. He's talking about the weight of being chosen, being a prophet, a savior, a voice, until you're empty, until no one answers your call, until you forget what joy feels like. On Feel, Kendrick Lamar reaches the bottom. And the scariest part, he realizes no one is coming to pull him out. Loyalty. After all the loneliness of Feel, loyalty sounds almost seductive. But don't be fooled. This isn't about romance. It's about trust in a world where loyalty feels like currency. Tell me who you're loyal to. Kendrick keeps asking, and it echoes like a test. Are you loyal to money? Are you loyal to roots? To your woman? Your enemies? Or yourself? Then Rihanna floats in effortless and cold-blooded. She's not just here to sing a hook. She's the embodiment of everything Kendrick's unsure about. Can you love someone without knowing if they'd ride or die? It's a secret society. All we ask is trust. That line is not just casual. It's chilling. Because loyalty in Kendrick's word doesn't come easy. It's paid for in scars. And sometimes, the most loyal person is the one who doesn't say a word. In loyalty, Kendrick isn't just testing relationship. He's testing faith. And what he finds is complicated. Pride. Pride is the moment Kendrick faces the darkest part of himself. After the test of loyalty and the doubt of Feel, he comes back to the one thing he has left, himself. But there's a twist. His pride has always been a double-edged sword. I can't fake humble just cause your ass is insecure. Kendrick admits it. It can't be fake. And here, we see how pride isn't just an emotion. It's an armor. It keeps the world at bay, keeps you from being vulnerable. But at what cost? This is the paradox Kendrick faces. He's proud of his identity, of his place in the world, but pride also makes him blind to the very things he needs. Pride tells him to never let go, but the true cost of pride is realizing how alone you are when it's all you've got left. In Pride, Kendrick doesn't just confront his arrogance, he confronts his fragility. Because behind that pride is a man who's terrified of being forgotten, or worse, being vulnerable. It's a game of power, of control. But no matter how much pride you have, the world always finds a way to strip you bare. Humble. Humble is a crash after all the pride. Kendrick finally faces the truth. The trap was set, and it was for him. Sit down. Be humble. The entire world told him to bow, to shrink, to be quiet. But Kendrick is different. He doesn't just sit down. He's telling the world to shut up. He's been battling the noise of fame, of ego, of expectations. But here, Kendrick flips the script. He takes ownership of his own narrative. And with that, humble feels like a victory. But here's what's interesting. Kendrick doesn't want the throne. He wants the truth. I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Photoshop. He's tired of the fake version of himself. Tired of the image. Kendrick wants to be seen for who he is, not who the world wants him to be. In Humble, Kendrick is breaking down everything that comes before. And in doing so, he's showing us what true humility looks like. Not shrinking, not bowing down to the world, but owning your flaws, your mistakes, and your story. Lust. Lust is the danger after the fall. After the humility of Humble, Kendrick finds himself surrounded by temptation. This isn't just about physical attraction. It's about the deeper cravings that never go away. I got a lot of lust inside my soul. There's a hunger here, an addiction. Lust in Kendrick's world is more than sex. It's the need for affirmation, attention. The wants to be desired after he's stripped away so much of himself. He's looking for something to fill the emptiness. He's been told to be quiet, to settle, to shrink. But the world won't let him forget his desires. Lust pulls him in, drags him into the chaos once again. After all the lessons, all the pain, the struggle to find clarity, it's the oldest temptation that still has a hold on him. In Lust, Kendrick realizes something ugly. No matter how much he's learned, he's still human. He still wants, he still needs, he still craves. And that desire, those wants, might be the thing that keeps him from truly finding peace. Now, after wrestling with pride, humility, and lust, Kendrick finds himself reaching for something more. He's looking for connection, for love, and not just love in the traditional sense, but the kind that transcends all chaos, the healing force. This is love. After the chaos of lust, Kendrick turns back to what he knows is real, love. And this is the answer he's been searching for all along. But it's not the love of fame or money, or even the praise of the world. Kendrick knows he's not perfect, but love, he knows that can save him. It's in the quiet moments, the unspoken gestures, the people who stand by you even when the world doesn't. Kendrick finds redemption in love. Not just the romantic kind, but the love that fills the cracks in your soul. It's the kind of love that makes you whole again. The kind of love that heals. The love of family, of friends, of community. And the most important one, the love of himself. Loving himself is the most raw, vulnerable place Kendrick could reach. A place where he can finally accept who he is, his flaws and all. Love isn't just a word, it's the foundation, the reason, the one thing Kendrick has always been searching for throughout his journey. And finally, in love, he finds peace. He finds himself. XXX. Triple X is where Kendrick faces the destruction of all he's fought for. The peace he found in love is shattered, and the violence of the world creeps back in. Here, Kendrick confronts his own contradictions, his beliefs, his values, the chaos of the world. Triple X isn't just a song about violence. It's about the destructive power of the things we hold inside. All the things Kendrick tries to outrun. His anger, his regrets, the circle of hate that has finally caught up with him. It's ain't no black or white thing. Kendrick breaks it down. The world isn't as simple as he hoped. Triple X is where Kendrick realizes there is no clean escape. The world keeps coming for you, no matter how much you try to resist. He's faced with the ugliest part of his identity, the darkest corners of his past. And in the destruction, Kendrick finally comes to terms with the fact that no one escapes unscathed. Triple X isn't just a moment of violence. It's the reckoning. It's the realization that even in love, In peace, the world will always pull back onto its chaos. And sometimes the hardest part is figuring out how to survive when everything is falling apart. Fear. Fear is the moment Kendrick realizes just how fragile everything is. After the chaos of Triple X, after the destruction, he's left to face the greatest force of all, his own fear. A fear, in Kendrick's word, isn't just about death. It's about the suffocating weight of life itself. The fear of losing everything. The fear of never reaching his potential. It's in these moments of silence that Kendrick finds his true adversary. Fear is the thing that has held him back the most. It's the fear of being judged, the fear of failure, the fear of not being enough, and the worst of all, the fear that nothing will ever change, that everything will always stay the same. In fear, Kendrick faces the pain of losses, the fear of becoming everything he never wanted to be. But this track isn't just about being afraid. It's about the realization that fear is a part of life. Fear is my only opponent. Fear is a constant that will challenge him. And in order to move forward, Kendrick must accept it, not run from it. Fear is a moment of confrontation, the raw emotional reckoning that sometimes the biggest fight is within ourselves. Fear is about standing up against darkness and saying, I'm ready for what comes next. Fear doesn't just paralyze Kendrick. It drives him. It shapes him. It forces him to evolve. And in that evolution, Kendrick realizes that the fear is not the enemy. It's the teacher. God. God is the answer Kendrick has been searching for all along. After the battles, the chaos, the fear, there is only one place left to turn. Something greater than himself. In God, Kendrick admits the weight of his own limitations. He's done everything he can to fix himself, but some things are just beyond him. The journey inward has led him here, to a place where the self, his ego, his pride, his fear can no longer guide him. Here, Kendrick surrenders. He lets go. He gives into the idea that there are things larger than his understanding. God is where faith enters the picture. It's the place of spiritual healing, the turning point where Kendrick accepts that he can't do this alone. The divine becomes a source of comfort, of clarity. It's a place where Kendrick can finally breathe, where the weight of the world lifts, even if for just a moment. It's the realization that the answers aren't always in control. They lie in submission to something higher. It's in his surrender that the chains are broken and the true freedom begins. God is the bridge between his past and his future. The moment where Kendrick starts to accept that in letting go, he finds what he's been looking for all along. In God, Kendrick finds the source of everything. Love, peace, grace. It's the truth that grounds him. The truth that despite the chaos, despite the struggles, there's still a higher purpose. And through that purpose, Kendrick finally discovers peace with himself, with his faith, and with the world around him. Duckworth. Duckworth is where it all comes together. After the fear, the faith, the love, Kendrick comes full circle. He looks back at the path that brought him here, realizing how fragile everything truly is. This track is more than just a song. It's a story of fate, a tale about how one small decision, one moment of chance can change everything. Kendrick remembers his father, Ducky, and how his life almost took a very different turn. In the span of a moment, a life can change. Kendrick's father, Ducky, could have ended up in a deadly situation with the man who would become Kendrick's record label boss. But instead, fate intervened. Free chicken, 2 extra biscuits, and the future was rewritten. Kendrick reflects on how his own life could have been lost, how his story could have never been told. Duckworth is about the delicate balance of life. The way everything we do, every choice we make, has consequences. It's about realizing that small moments, the ones we don't even talk about, are often the ones that define our fate. Kendrick understands this now. Everything that led him to this moment was shaped by those who came before him, by the choice of others, by the randomness of life. In Duckworth, Kendrick connects the dots. He sees how his family's history, the people who came before him, shaped who he is today. And in that realization, Kendrick knows he's not just here by chance. He's here because of the people who loved him and the people who fought for him. It's a moment of profound gratitude, of understanding that the world he's in, the life he's living, is part of a much larger story. And in the end, Duckworth isn't just about fate. It's about family, about the generational love that passes down through time. is the realization that life is fragile, that every moment matters, and that the legacy we leave behind is the love we give, the choices we make, and the lives we touch. Duckworth is the conclusion, the final piece of the puzzle. The story Kendrick needed to tell is a story of how a man's choices can shape the future of a generation to come. And as Kendrick steps forward, he's at peace, knowing that the journey has taught him everything he needs to know. By the end of Damn, Kendrick has gone through a complete transformation. From Blood to Duckworth, each track represents a chapter in his journey. Loss, identity, love, fear, faith, and the constant battle to understand himself and his place in the world. Through each track, we see Kendrick grappling with the complexities of existence, his past, his present, and his future, and ultimately arriving at the conclusion that life is shaped by both the choices we make and the forces that lie beyond our control. Salute.
The citation for the Pulitzer Prize in Music for distinguished musical composition by an American that has had its first performance or recording in the United States during the year. Awarded to Damn by Kendrick Lamar.